although the 1/4 stat line for 3 cost is not awful, it's a Crusader who doesn't have intercept and can attack.
Howdy, welcome back to the Magic Library. I'm just kidding. I just wanted to make a funny video for the 1-year anniversary of Grand Archive. So I have a long time ago, Citsacras, one of the now developers, and I made a video where we talked about cards that were released when the index first came out. There's a lot of really funny takes that we have, a lot of really wild takes that we have, and a lot of differences between what the cards are now and what they were then. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for being here as a part of Grand Archive's first year anniversary. So Spirit of Fire, on enter, draw 7 cards, so that's 1 up from before.
NANI? Yeah, it seems like the only thing new we're seeing in this patch is this is going to draw 7 instead of draw 6. More of like a gameplay implication. We're starting with 7 cards in hand.
Is it also a life change, or was it 12 before as well?
Yeah. I think before it was 10 health, so we are moving up to 12 health. So we'll probably see less kind of like instant kill.
It's
That's
tough,
true.
tough mechanic sometimes. You know, Rye's a little strong in that sense with the Spirit of Fire. Right, so we're back to the prelude set here. We have the Bobble of Abundance. This is a regalia item, a cleric bauble. So the effect is banish Bobble of Abundance. Each player draws a card.
Interesting. Definitely a group hug type of card. I'm curious about this. I feel like it does have place, but it is a really tricky card to play depending on who your opponent is. It really just speeds up the game for both of you.
I almost feel like this is whenever I see something that says each player draws a card, my first thought is, oh, we're gonna mill the opponent. But I mean, there are a lot of opportunities. You know, we could have like effects for different champions or different characters that involve gaining benefits when you give something to your enemy, where you have your enemy draw a card, or you bring something back from the graveyard of the banishment for your enemy. Right, so could be a lot of different combinations of things that could be good for having both players draw a card here.
Yeah, it's very dependent on kind of like other cards existing that relate to it. On its own, I feel like it's almost too scary to play. So I think for me, this is probably like a 5 out of 10.
Okay, I think I give this a 3 out of 10. I think this is a card where a lot of players will take it because they see the card draw, but they don't realize how dangerous it is to really give card draw to someone else. And I think a lot of people will throw their games with cards like this. All right, everybody's favorite, Banner Knight.
Yeah, so this guy really got to glow up. And not only the art, but also his cost is coming down to 2 when it used to be a whopping 4 cost before. I don't think I've seen this card seriously played much because that 4 cost was just so prohibitive with the stat line, but with 2 costs now, there's a lot of scary potential once you hit Lorraine level 2. Yeah, this should be really interesting to see how this plays out in the meta.
All right, we have everybody's favorite Dungeon Guide.
Yeah, card is the same. Card is very good.
Till it's cool. Nice.
Lorraine, Rye, both champions would probably run, I think, still 2 to 3 copies of this. It's unfortunate to see once you hit level 3, but prior to level 3, there's a lot of crazy things you can do, especially with Lorraine. The double, kind of the level up, wake up, attack again is always a fun combo.
All right, unique ally. The second one we're seeing here, Cleric Human, Gildas, Chronicle of Asa. So unique, as we said, you can only have 1 card with this name. Gildas gains +3 as long as the amount of cards in your hand and memory are equal.
Ooh, as long as the amount of cards in your hand and memory are equal. So on turns where you have odd cards, this is never activated. Actually, it only activates on turns you have odd cards, right? You know, 7 cards in hand, you play 3 to, I guess, play this card, and then smack someone in the face for 4 damage. Yeah, this gets into It's a lot harder to play when you have fewer cards, simply because there's not many cards that are just cost 1 memory to play. Potentially, with all of the scry or all the glimpse mechanics, you could build an interesting deck where, turn 1 Gildas, you just destroy them in like 3 or 4 turns.
'Cause theoretically, you could build an entire deck around this, which is just glimpse, draw, and everything's under 3 cost, right?
Yeah. I think the
Or
scariest...
even 2 cost and lower, and you could have something like a 1, 4, 5, or 6 cost when you see it, right?
Yeah. I think the scariest thing with draw 7 is that... I guess... No. So it doesn't work because you would end up with 8 cards in hand on turn 1
Mm-hmm.
on the second turn player. So you couldn't play this realistically unless you had a 0 cost card.
Or something
And
that allows
smack
you to
them at the
draw.
same turn. Oh, this is so interesting.
There's a lot of thinking that goes in with this card. I think it's really cool. Do you think it fits in Constructed right now?
I don't know. I think it's going to be a little too complicated to figure out how to play. Although the 1/4 stat line for 3 cost is not awful. It's a Crusader who doesn't have intercept and can attack on the first turn. So, as a creature itself, or as an ally itself, it's average. It just has, a bonus in case you actually trigger it, which can be a very scary bonus. Oh, what would I rate this card? I want to rate this a 7 now and in the constructed event. I'm just very curious to see this play. This is probably my most favorite card so far.
We got Crux Sight. So Crux Sight, I believe, is exactly the same as well.
Classic, yep. Draw card.
Great card. New card. We got an ally Crux card. Ghosts of Pendragon.
Pendragon.
So if it's a 2 cost, 3 attack, 4 life. So in terms of stats, very strong. On enter, you may return a regalia you control to its owner's material deck. If you do, draw 2 cards.
What the?
Oh my god.
Hits for 3, 4 health.
Pretty nutty card.
Yeah.
But it takes a lot to get to the point where you can play this card.
I don't think it actually takes too much. Maybe
Actually, with
level
7
3.
cards, it's not bad. 7 cards is
Yeah,
easier to
you
get to
can also
Lorraine
card.
3 now.
You can turn Regalia, so it's not just a weapon, it can be any Regalia.
Yeah. So you don't actually have to feel forced to use certain regalia now. As long as it's there, it's fine.
Yeah.
So, like, a good example is if you have your Life Essence Amulet out and the opponent refuses to kill your units, just send it back for 2 cards.
Yep.
And then
Yep,
you
yep, yep, yep.
rematerialize it for free.
Yep.
And then you bounce this card and do it again.
It was 0 cost weapon. You're just like, oh, just, I play my Commander's Blade, or I play my Ceremonial Longsword, Greatsword. This is now a 4/4. Then I attack you for another 4 damage.
And then I send it back.
The-
I bounce this card and send it again.
Yeah,
This card is sick.
that's fun.
I want to give it an 8.
I was thinking the same. Yeah.
It's good. It's not overpowered. It's good.